Okay everyone, so I've got a hair clip mould and I'm making a glittery one. Look, here's the mould. Already done one. Need to do the other half now. Yeah, I really should have bought 2 sets. Anyway, I've also made these parts, so that's 2 of each of those. So we're good to go with making these. And the kit comes with, with some of the little alligator claw things like this, which are quite lively. Now I don't think they're going to go through my hair completely because they're just quite small, but they'd be quite handy just for pulling my hair up to one side, that sort of thing. Anyway, the main purpose of this was not only to see how this worked, but also to show you these. I have got a little set of Crackle nail varnishes or nail polishes, whatever you want to call them. There you go, that's the brand. And this is what comes in the kit. You get a white, which I'm going to need first, which is like a base coat. And then you get this assortment of colours, which will crackle. Now I have tried them on a few scraps, and this is what happened. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? Now this is a UV curing layer and it's sticky. That, I don't know what it is, whether it's water-based or something. Anyway, I thought we'd have a go at it on these. So I'm just going to paint these now in the white and we'll get that curing. So you just paint it on. And I'm going to go all over. This particular one has got like a little textured bit there. So look, there's like a raised area. But I'm just painting it all over. So these are cured now. And I'm just going to paint this on. And what I will do then is leave it on time lapse for you so that you can see exactly what it does. And then when I come back and we have a look at them and I have a look at fitting them onto the little gubbins, I'll let you know how long it actually took to fully cure. But again, I'm not being over fussy about how I put this on, just plastering it on like this. Probably should be a bit more fussy, but you know, this is very much an experiment, and these are quite big areas. I mean, don't forget this kit was intended for nail art. As you can see, that one's starting to crackle already. Can you see that? Isn't that good? Now, apparently, there's a lot of variables here. The heat in the room, how thick I paint this on. There's a lot of variables which will dictate how crackly this goes. Apparently if you put it on thicker you get bigger crackles, which is probably what I wanted, to be honest, but you know, we'll see what happens here. Look, it looks as if I'm not even going to have to put this on time lapse. It's a nice bright orange, isn't it? Might do my nails with this later. What little bit of nails I've got nowadays. Actually managed to get them fairly clean earlier. It involved scrubbing them with bleach. That's not a good thing. I do not recommend it. But I was getting so embarrassed at how bad my nails look all the time that I thought, I'm going to do this. Do not take that as a recommendation, please. Trouble is, if I paint my nails, even if I use my fancy UV kit, because I've got all the proper kit and I do know how to do it properly, I'm just going to wreck them next time I do some crafting, aren't I? Oh, look at those. That did not need any time lapse. Can you see what's going on there? That is fantastic. So, yes, I tell you what we'll do. We're going to leave them for a bit now. And I'm going to let that really dry. That's dry. I'll let it finish drying, then I'll come back, we'll put a clear coat on, which will be some ultraviolet no wipe top coat, and then we'll have a go at fitting them onto the little clippy things, maybe do a bit more embellishment on them. Okay, I'm going to leave them half an hour just to be sure. See you later. So these are going lovely. Oh, look at that. That's amazing. That shadow there is that texture line. I don't know whether to do something with that or not. The two orange ones, I think they're still just curing up a bit. I've got a little bit of a bubble in it there. But I just wanted to get one of these coated so we could see what it does. And they are properly dried. And then I'll come back and do all these other ones. And then we'll fit them onto the actual little clippy things. Right. This is a no wipe top coat. It's a brand I haven't used until recently. Does seem very good though. It's just a cheap one off Amazon, but I'll put your links for all of the stuff as usual, so fret not, you will be able to find it. Of course then I've got a big decision as to what I do with the backs of these. Don't know. Might leave them plain actually, but what I'm going to do is just paint this on, and oh look, the colours popping. Oh, isn't that pretty? That is so pretty. Now, of course, this does mean I need to do some more experimenting. I mean, can I mix a little bit of like shimmer into it, or don't know. Yeah, this is going to keep me quiet for a bit, as you can imagine. So this is meant to be a thin, clear, neat layer. Yeah. But look how much those colours have popped compared to the one that isn't coated. And of course it'll protect, won't it? So I'm just going to put this under my UV lamp again. Did you notice though, remember, if you get one of these kits, the crackle colour, you don't need to use any sort of curing. It just does its own thing. So you just leave it. Whereas the base coat is a UV cure, and the top coat I'm using is a UV cure as well, but I guess you could use any sort of varnish or whatever really. I just happen to have the actual UV top coat. You could even dome it with some UV resin. Okay, now we're talking finishing touches here, so let me zoom you in and you can see how lovely these have all cured. Now I've got these little cloud ones I wanted to do something with too. So I'm just going to go around the edges of those with a silver chromey pen, just because I think that'll be a nice finishing touch. So I'm going to do both of those. Work my way around. I'll just speed this up for you. You can see what I'm doing. Quick look in case you want to know what pen that is. I'll put you a link. Okay, we'll speed this up. Okay, so that's one finishing touch done. Now, one thing to note with these is one of them's going to have to go the opposite way around to the other. Obviously the mould, they've come out both that way, and you need one that's like the reverse of the other, don't you? But with these it doesn't matter because they're kind of the same. Now, what you can't see here is that I've got the heat mat on under this. It's been on high for quite a long time, and that's to give these a little bit of bend. Not much bend, to be fair. I would have liked a bit more bend, so I'm wondering whether I can turn the heat mat up a bit more. There you go, that's on maximum now. Now the idea with that is that simply because these have got a little bit of curve to them. It's only a bit. Now I just want to make sure they fit. Now these will bend a lot more anyway because they're thinner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a wipe. Now these are Wonder Wipes, which is basically alcohol, I believe, or something like that anyway. But it's very good for degreasing to make sure you've got a good clean surface to stick onto. And this little kit has come with 5 of these. Obviously I've got the bits to make 3 here, so let's go with the 3. And I've already wiped the backs of these off a bit. Just give them a little wipe because they have been on the mat here, but the mat should be clean. And I'm hoping that they'll have enough give in them to bend to fit these little clips. So let's try with these first. Now the glue I have got is a new one that I've not used before, and I'm going to need some clamps to hold it on. Here we go. So these are the clamps for my mould making frame. Now this glue I thought I'd try. A lot of people use that is it E6000? Something like that. Well, this is meant to be similar, but it's got this fancy nozzle look. Now I'm a bit prone to getting glue and things. They sort of glob up on me, and then I can't use them. So I thought this might be a good way to go. Now apparently you have to leave it for a sec. So I'll get it onto this side first. And these clips are warm, so I'm not going to leave it for long because they have been on this mat as well. So let's decide which is the outside. That, I think. And we're just going to sit it on. Now I think it wants to go so that is quite close to the edge. Otherwise it's going to be very hard to put in your hair, isn't it? And I'm bending it slightly. Yeah, it is. It has got just about enough give. So I'm pressing this on quite firmly, and the idea was I'd take these clamps, hope it isn't going to mark the resin, but clamp it like that, so that while the glue dries, it's being held very firmly in place. Now I've got that a little bit away from the edge, so let's just move it a little bit. So that's all I'm going to do, and I'm going to work my way around all of them doing that. As I say, I just need to hope that my little clamps aren't so tight that they mark the resin. I hope not. Anyway, there's one done. Now I'm going to do one side at a time, so I'm just going to keep going. Now let's see if these are bendy enough yet. Yep, as you can see there's a little bit of give in that. I just thought it would help. So get a bit of this glue on. It does say you need to leave this for a couple of minutes first, but I'm not leaving it for that long because, say, these are warm. It's gonna go off quickly, I think. Here's how this works, this little bottle. Now that, to me, is a great idea. And also it's a plastic tube, so it's not one of those metal ones that you'll start rolling it up to try and get more out of it and it'll split. At least I hope not. Let's see. Right, that's those done for now. Just wanted to show you something else while I'm messing around here. I've done this disc. Now I'm going to dome that, so just wanted to show you how all of these colours ping that we used for that crackle effect, because yeah, I hadn't tried all the colours yet, so I thought, here we go, let's give it a try. So just going to dome this. This is one of those random little discs that I've made. You know when you have a bit of resin left over, yeah, you always want to chuck it in something, don't you? And lately I've been chucking it in hearts and plain discs. This is a very small coaster mould, and I'm finding it quite handy. Being flat, it's quite useful if you want to try some techniques or something on it. There we go, I've put absolutely loads on. This is the high viscosity ultraviolet curing resin from J. Diction. Same as I used on these, it's the same stuff. And I'm finding it absolutely lovely for this sort of thing. One thing I just noticed, I've got some little bubbles in there, so let's get those lifted. I don't mind the odd bubble, to be honest. What is it, Claire's Crafty Corner, he says. Handmade with love, not perfection. That's it. That's right, isn't it, Claire? Although I have to say, most of your stuff does look perfect. There we are. Just going to cure that up then, and yeah, we'll come back and show you these hair clips once I finish them.